I say that. Okay, welcome back to the Bootleg Corner movie review hours. Review hours and recommendation because this one is 2 in 1. Alien Earth is the title. We are running into that. Like, there's no time to be doing suspense about what you're about to do. But Alien Earth came out. Is it on Thursday or on Wednesday? But Alien Earth came out. That's all I know. And if you have not seen Alien, this is how I'm looking at you. But if you've seen Alien and you've not seen Alien Earth, this is also how I'm looking at you. But scrap that, forget those things. But Alien Earth came out last week, and let me just say, if you have not seen any of the Alien movies, there is no time but now. This is the right time. Not really the right time because they've been out for a while, but it's never too late. It is never too late for you to get into it. And even if you've not seen the Alien movies in any of the previous Alien movies and you want to start, you can start now. That's the beauty of this franchise. It's a multiverse, but not really a multiverse. It's not really a setup, punchline, setup. Like, the movies are somehow connected and somehow non-connected. So you can start at any point and go back and start. Like, it's not really connected. But this is the sequence of the movies, how the movies line up in their years and how you are supposed to watch them. But they were produced at different times. But if if you've not watched any of the Alien movies and you want to start up, this is the correct order to watch the movies. But if you don't want to do that, realistically, you can start at any point and you won't really be missing anything. The only thing you have to make sure you do is to watch the first 3 Alien movies, the first one from 1979 up to Alien Resurrection in 1997. I think those are the 3 that are connected, and the other 2, Alien Covenant and Prometheus, those are the other 2 that are connected. But the movies are so good that you can start at any point, at the beginning, at the end, and you can still enjoy a fantastic ride, because that's how amazing and that's how well detailed and that's how well thought out this franchise is. Now with Alien Earth, when the movie started, I thought Mr. Teng was going to be a robot, because the way he was acting and the way everyone was looking at him, and he was like a bit cut off from the other guys. I thought he was a robot, a Weyland-Yutani robot, but it seemed he was just another creep. Not another, because it's the only creep there, because it seems it was just a creep who everyone knew and everyone just avoided for some reason. Now Moro was the one, or is the one, who has been a bit, is surprising a bit in this movie, because he's not totally a robot. He's a human with robotic parts, so he's basically a cyborg, but he's been acting like a Weyland-Yutani robot for the entirety of this movie. He doesn't care about any other thing other than serving Weyland-Yutani to the best of his abilities. And that's somehow weird, because like I said, he's not only robots can be programmed to have that level of devotion and that level of loyalty to the Weyland-Yutani guys. So for him to be this dedicated to Weyland-Yutani with human thinking and human behavior and human motivation, I mean, should I say, more dangerous than a robot, because the robot can only do what you program it to do. But for him to decide on his own volition to be this devoted to Weyland-Yutani, I mean, we are going to have serious problems in this movie. Now with this series, the transition overlays were somehow weird, but at the first time it happened, I justified it because these guys were waking up from sleep, and I thought the transition was supposed to signify their grogginess. You know, when you wake up, that heavy feeling you have when you wake up and you're just walking around until like 15 or 20 minutes before your body finally boots up properly. But like, they were using constantly, and they were using the fade to black transition method, and I was not like, what's up with these guys? But in the end, I did my research. That's not very low. I just looked at some older movies, and it seems like the director is paying homage or something to the way older movies were directed in the 70s and the 80s, the transitions and the fading to black and all that stuff. Because initially I thought it was very, very wonky, because they don't use transition overlays like that. You use them like maybe for a specific scene, but to be using them constantly, I was now asking if this was the director's motive or signature or something, before I know how to look at some older vintage movies and I realized that this was how they did some of their things back then. But that aside, it seems technology has gotten to the point where we can transfer human consciousness into robot bodies, and the first thing the boy Cavalier uses that to do is to transfer kids into adult bodies. I mean, what could go wrong when you take kids in their maybe 11, 12-year-old kids, I don't even think they're up to 12, 10, 9-year-old kids, and throw them into adult bodies, fully grown adult bodies, without the same mental development at the same pace? And like, what could go wrong from doing that? And that will be one thing to keep an eye out for, because these guys, they are very, should I say, not even should I say, because they are very naive, they are untrained, they are basically newborn babies in this world. They are basically newborn babies in this world, and we'll have to see how they carry on and how they go on for the remainder of this series. Now in this one, it seems the earth is governed by corporations, unlike the way we have states and state governments and all that. But the earth has been divided into 4 parts: Prodigy, Wayland-Yutani, and I think there are 2 other companies, and they are now governed by corporations instead of states the way we have them now. And right now, corporations really govern the world, just that states create the guidelines for them to do that. But in Alien Earth, it seems like totality of everything, the corporations are both governing and creating guidelines. So it's like it's a different world. I think the year is 2120. That's like, how many years from that? That's 70 something years from now. So like, it's like everyone watching this video in real time will be dead by then. Maybe not, but that's just, let's keep the morbidity out of it. But year 2120, corporations rule the world. Wayland-Yutani is one, Prodigy is another. I don't know what the name of the other 2 companies are, but I know that there are 4 companies that do this stuff. Now, Moro's betrayal is another thing that is a staple in all alien movies, where the Wayland-Yutani, all of them are Wayland-Yutani employees, but there's one who is actually a real Wayland-Yutani employee, betrays the rest of the crew in order to save or to sabotage or to just see how the xenomorph transformation really goes. But in this one, Moro is the guy who does the job, locks himself into the room, and when she's out there begging for to be let into the room, I mean, as usual, he even locks the door. He messes up the mechanism that opens the door to even make sure that there's no doubt about him leaving her out there to die. And when we go through the totality of these first 2 episodes, we can see that Moro has not really killed anyone. We can see that Moro has not really killed anyone. All he has done is that he has left people to die. Maybe he has put them in the condition that made them die, but he has not shot anyone. He has not thrown anyone out into space. He has not drowned anyone. He has not really used his hands to kill anyone. The first one, he left her out there. He didn't open the door for the xenomorph for her to get in, to hide from the xenomorph. The second time, he captured these 2 Prodigy officers, tied them in the room. I don't think he had any idea that the other specimens had broken out of their cages. And the third time was when he was carrying the xenomorph, was taking the xenomorph away, and these other Prodigy officers came to stop him. Maybe he has done things that led to their death, but he has not really killed anyone. I don't know if I'm making that decision properly, but that's just how it is up until now. Now, their spaceship crashed into a heavily populated area. Now, this was one thing I did not see from the trailers, because when the trailers were playing, they were showing like a forest and like a deserted area. I did not really think that they would really crash a spaceship into a densely populated city, because if xenomorphs are going to get into a populated city, I mean, it's basically bye-bye to everyone. It is basically bye-bye, because we've seen what they can do when it's just a ship. And in every alien movie, the constant theme of survival in any alien movie has been just one person surviving out of every alien movie. If a crew goes to meet a xenomorph, you can be rest assured that only one person is coming out alive from that entire experience. And now we have xenomorph in an entire city, crashing into an entire city, along with some other messed up, crazy specimens. I mean, look at this guy. This is an octopus, not even an octopus, but something with one eye and multiple pupils with tentacles that has the power to zombify its victims. It kills them. I don't even know how it gets into their body, but it now has the ability to control their bodies when they are dead. Like, what will make you? What is the rationale behind going to capture this kind of things? And how did they even capture? How many people did they kill on the crew before they even capture this one? This other thing is a blood-sucking tick. Something that is the way it sucks blood is like a hose. It's like a fuel hose. It's not gentle and slow like as if you are using injection to draw blood. Like one time, look at this guy. He just latched onto his neck, and within I don't think it was up to 10 seconds, the guy was gone. The guy was totally gone, and the thing was now swelling up like a balloon. Like, what kind of monsters did they go to capture, and where exactly did they go to capture these guys? And one funny thing, not really funny, but one thing about all these movies is that because these things are happening at different times, That's the total. I'm talking about the Alien movies now, because they're happening at different times across different years, mostly within the same centuries, but because they're happening at different time periods, and because the survival rate of their exploratory missions is very low, they don't really have any data, any information about how dangerous the species they are going to bring back are. Almost all the missions they've sent out only one survivor, and like there's no information about what they're actually doing. So for almost all of these guys, it is the first time they are seeing these monsters, and they are very, very unprepared for what they are about to do. I think with the exception of Ripley in the first Alien movies, who went back, who saw Xenomorphs 3 times, and even know how to survive. I don't even know how to survive all these experiences. But for her to see Xenomorphs 3 times in 3 different locations and come out not really unscathed, because she died and was resurrected, but for her to come out of true experiences with Xenomorphs in different times with different crews, I mean, she's an outlier. So for all of these other guys, this is basically their first time seeing Xenomorphs, and we know how it usually goes. And for Wendy and Hermit, I think Hermit has survived a little too much. Not too much, but he has survived way too. He has basically escaped death like 3 times. The first time when Xenomorph, I think, was coming from the roof. The second time when they were outside the door of this Victorian guy who refused to let them in. The third time when he was inside the room, Xenomorph had almost captured him. Then Moro came to save him. I think Moro is the only one, or has been the only one in the entirety of this Alien franchise, who was totally prepared to deal with the Xenomorph. Because he's the only one that seems unfazed. He's the only one that knows that they smell fear. And this is the first time it's ever been said in I don't think it has been said ever in the entirety of this Alien franchise that the Xenomorphs smell fear. Because I used to wonder how they see. They've never really showed us the Xenomorph perspective of how he sees other humans, and they show, like, camera will show how they are seeing through their eyes and stuff. But if they are tracking their victims by smelling or sensing their fear, then that takes things to a different level. Because how can you see an 8-foot monster that looks like a crazy skeleton coming at you with sharp claws and everything and not feel fear? But I guess Moro is the only one in the entirety of the series who has figured that out, because he was standing there and the Xenomorph could not sense or smell him and went to kill the other Prodigy officers in this movie. So as I said, Hermit I'm expecting him to die, because at the ending of episode 2, the Xenomorph captured him instead of killing. Maybe the Xenomorph 2 thinks there's something special about this guy, because this is the 3rd time it has seen him. And instead of killing him on the spot, he has taken him away. So I think he's going to be, maybe they're going to, the Xenomorph is going to use him as a host to create other Xenomorphs. But basically, it's Wendy, Moro, and Xenomorph who are going to be the lead characters of this series. And I cannot wait to see when these guys collide. So if you haven't seen Alien Earth or any of the movies in this Alien franchise, this is basically the best time. Not really the best time because you are behind, but not as far behind as something they say One Piece, where there's like 1,000 or 2,000 episodes for you to catch up on. This is something you can basically watch over a month or 2. Yeah, I don't think there are up to 10 movies in the entire franchise. Like I said, you can start anywhere you wish to, but for continuity and to understand the story, you just need to watch Alien 1979 up to Alien Resurrection. There are 3 movies in that set, up to Alien Resurrection in 1997. Then you can watch Prometheus and Covenant, because those are the 2 connected. Then the other aliens. Then you can basically, but like I said, the movies are individual, are great in their own right, so you can watch any of them individually. Alien Earth is on FX and on Hulu, streaming, I think, right now. And for those of us who know where we get our stuff, the Internet Marauders and Crusaders, that's something we'll have to figure out on our own. But like I said, I love this series, and I think if you are a fan of the Alien franchise, you will absolutely love this series. And if you are not, this is like, I'd have to repeat myself on that score again. This is still the Bootleg God on the Bootleg Corner. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, to share, to follow, to comment, and all that stuff. Keep it locked in, and I'll be back.